This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, November the 4th. Sharing a birthday with my mom, who is now 72 years old, is this American football player who was a tackle for 13 years in the NFL, basically with the Rams. He was a star in college. He was actually picked first overall in the 97 NFL draft, which is unusual for an offensive lineman to go first overall. He spent every year but one with St. Louis. He's a fantastic player, one of the most underrated offensive linemen because he was an offensive lineman when the Greatest Show on Turf era began in the early 2000s. He protected Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk from getting injured, and he was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2016. His name is Orlando Pace, who's 48 today. Pace was born in Sandusky, Ohio, a two-sport athlete, and then, well, he's from Ohio, so logically, go to Ohio State, which he did. And he majored in business and played for the Ohio State team for 3 years. He actually started on opening day, becoming one of the second freshmen ever, true freshman, as in he was not redshirted. He was the Outland Trophy winner in college football for the best interior lineman, aka offensive lineman, and he was fantastic in all that. He won the Lombardi Award for best lineman or linebacker, so it was either a linebacker, defensive linebacker, or an offensive lineman. In fact, he's the most recent Lombardi winner to be an offensive lineman, becoming only one of 12 players to win the Outland and the Lombardi Trophy. He actually finished fourth in the Heisman Trophy voting, which was amazing. He was known. In fact, they had a term named after him, the pancake block. It refers to when an offensive lineman knocks a defender on his back. Gained popularity. And they do that in the NFL nowadays. He was great and all that. He was actually named to the NCAA Football All-Century team by Sports Illustrated. So yeah, he was very good. He got to the College Football Hall of Fame in 2013. So the 97 draft and all that. Peyton Manning decided to go back to college, meaning that he was not the number one pick. And Orlando Pace was even pegged to be the number one pick, which was kind of shocking and all that. An offensive lineman, too. The Jets were the number one pick because they went 1-15, but the Jets decided to trade down and give the Rams the number one pick. The Rams like, thank you very much, we're taking Pace. And in fact, he wasn't the first offensive lineman to be picked number one. 1968, Ron Urey was it. So let's just take a look at the 97 NFL draft before we get forward here. Was it the right decision? Well, considering that Sean Springs went third to Seattle, Peter Bober went fourth to Baltimore, and Walter Jones went sixth to Seattle, I think it was a good pick. Walter Jones was a very good player in his own right as well. He's a Hall of Famer too. So I think they made the right move. So anyway, after a holdout, Pace got a 7-year, $29 million contract. He did his job playing 13 games his rookie year. He was left tackle and was a Pro Bowl alternate in 98. In 99, he took part in a lot of offensive plays and got to the Pro Bowl, becoming the first offensive lineman from the Rams since the great Jackie Slater in 1990 to do so. He was the first team All-Pro for the Super Bowl winning Rams, and he was there when the Greatest Show on Turf started, with Kurt Warner coming out of nowhere to be a great quarterback. Marshall Faulk, after the Colts traded him for the want of one Edger James, which actually worked out in a sense. Joining him in the backfield with great receivers as As Hakeem, Isaac Bruce, Ricky Prohl. I would say Dre Bly, but that's wrong. I don't know. That's just how good I am. Anywho, the 2000 season, he earned another Pro Bowl invitation and part of the offensive line that made the Rams take part in most passing yards in Rams in NFL history. Of course, you know, that's been surpassed, but it was just all that. And he was never penalized for holding. Alongside fellow offensive linemen for the Rams, Andy McCollum and Ryan Tucker. It's hard because usually you get one or two of those calls every game. Anyway, Pace would start every game in 2001, take part in every offensive play, played in every playoff game, and saw the Rams get taken out by the Pats in Super Bowl 36. And he earned his third consecutive Pro Bowl invitation. Must have been hard on him. Unfortunately, injury would catch him in 2002 and missed out. He still earned a Pro Bowl invitation even though he missed 6 games. Pace had a holdout prior to camp in 2003 and luckily got a 1-year deal. He could have went somewhere else. And he rewarded him. So Pace would hold out for the 2004 season and luckily he got a contract from the Rams. It was like hard to believe, but he played every game and all that, and people were probably thinking he was going to get his and be dumped off by the Rams. There were rumors that Houston was going to sign Pace, but with the Rams placing the franchise tag on Pace, it meant that Houston would have had to pay a compensation of 2 first-round picks. But Pace would accept a 7-year, $52 million deal from the Rams, making it reign with his 7th straight Pro Bowl invitation, making him 4th in Rams history for getting to the Pro Bowl. Unfortunately, he tore his triceps in 2006, halfway through the season, and missed the rest of the season. And unfortunately, Pace got injured during the 2007 season opener, and unfortunately he was out for the rest of the year, so the Rams were not that well. Pace did come back and play 14 games. Unfortunately, the team couldn't do anything. He was 2-14. The Rams decided to release Orlando Pace mostly because of his injury problems. I mean, I don't blame him. And to save money under the cap. The Bears signed him to a 3-year deal in 2009. He played 1 year with the Bears before sustaining an injury and then was released. Pace would retire in March 2010. He would own a sports bar for a little bit in Sandusky, Ohio. Pace was inducted into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame. And in his second try, he got to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which was great. He had to wait 5 years. And it was a pretty good job and all of that. So, Orlando Pace was very underrated. I mean, a lineman for the greatest show on turf, you have to give him props. And a #1 overall pick, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved being talked about. That's the way I say it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond, I do.